Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Bala.
Good
How are
evening,
you?
Bala.
Yeah, good evening, sir. How are you?
All good, Bala. How about you?
Yeah, fine, sir. Fine. We'll start the class. Okay. We know very well that we are about to complete that integrations, the scope management. We have one process in the integration. So that process is manage project and knowledge. So before going into that particular topic, okay, Ms. Kala.
Sir Bala.
Okay, good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, Bala.
Okay, you are asking to show that flow charts, right? So
Yes, Bala.
process is what? A direct and managed project work. So apart from the deliverables, you know very well that it is going to disseminate. The second important output will be work performance data, right? Can you able to see that work performance data is going as an input where? The work performance data is generated as a output and it's inserted as an input in all your controlling process. Can you see that it's going for validate scope process?
Yes.
It's going for control scope, control schedule, control cost, control quality, control resources. So each and every specific data is sent to the each and every controlling process. So all the data are unprocessed information. So it has to be processed in a good way. You need to make sure that where you need to find any variance is there or not, right? So you're going to send that one to all the controlling process, and the controlling process owner is going to receive the data, and he's going to match that data with the planned data or planned metrics, and he has to see that whether there is any kind of variations or variance. Zero variance and positive variance will not give you any kind of headache. If there is any negative variance, he has to know about what is the reason for the negative variance, from where it came, and how it is going to impact the project. Overall project is impacted, and what is the root cause of this particular variance, and what is the suggestion from him to the project manager. So what he has to do with that particular variance, how he has to remove that variance, or how he has to keep how we have to keep the variance if the variance is a good variance. So that will be coming in the two format. One will be performance information, and the other one will be change request. So work performance data is generated in execution, and it's coming as an input. It's coming as a primary input for all the monitoring and controlling, and you will be using all your plan metrics. All your plan metrics will go into your management plans and your baselines. So that will be compared with the actuals and to find out the variance, right? So what will be the output you're going to get? If you're going to send the performance data, work performance data as an input in all your controlling process, what is the output you are able to get?
Work performance
information.
We're getting the work performance informations, right? Work performance
yes.
informations. So once you got the work performance information as output in all the controlling process, so where it is getting feeded, can you see that?
Work performance report.
Can you see the work performance information from all the controlling processes coming as an output? Can you see?
Yes.
You're able to see. So you're going to send the performance data into all your controlling process, which is generated in the execution. Until you execute, you're not able to get any data. All the data are generated in the execution. It's sent as an input in all the controlling process, and all the controlling process is going to analyze that particular data, and they're going to add more context. So it is very easy for the project manager to take an action. So he can come for a decision, or he can he can just conclude something. So the root cause, the impact, the overall impact, what we need to do. So everything will be coming under work performance informations. So this work performance information is a major input in the monitoring and controlling process. So since it is integration, so the project manager is going to integrate all the work performance information. Can you see that you are able to get the reports here? Can you able to see the reports? One copy of the report is going into the managed team process. One is going to communicate, and one report is going to monitor risk. Is it clear, guys? So what the intention of monitoring and controlling process project work is that it has to get the work performance information as the input, and they have to convert into work performance report. And all the change requests which is coming as a recommendation. So this particular change request along with the current work performance report is going as a input. So the change request is integrated change request, and the current work performance report is going as a primary input in perform integrated change control process. So once you're going to send the change request and performance report, the current work performance report, can you see what is the output you are able to get from the perform integrated change control process? What is the output you are able to get? What is the only one in what is the primary input you got?
Change log.
Huh?
Output. Change log, right?
No, approve change request, right?
Change
If you
request,
push
yeah.
a change request integrated as an input, then you will be getting as a approved change request. Either the change request is getting approved or it's disapproved, right?
Yes.
So what you're going to do with the approved change request? You have to implement it, right? You have to implement it, right?
Yes.
Everyone.
Yes, again, yeah. Direct and manage project.
So it is going to direct and manage project work, and you're implementing the approved change request. You're going to do the rework, and you're able to integrate. You're able to integrate that one. 1 minute. Okay, you're able to integrate your work performance. Sorry, you're able to implement the approved change request. So it is going as a direct and managed project work as an input here. So what is the output you're going to get from the direct and managed project work? If you're going to push the approved change request?
Again, we will get work performance data, deliverables.
Yeah, you'll be getting the performance data on what? The repaired deliverable, right? You'll be
Yes.
getting deliverables, and on that particular deliverable, you're able to generate the data. So once you get the data, again, the data will go into the controlling process. Again, it will be converted as work performance information, and that work performance information will be going in as the input in monitoring and controlling project work. It will be converted as a report. Now it's clear, guys. So one copy of approved change request is going for implementation and direct and managed project work. One copy is going to the quality control, because whether the work is implemented properly or not, whether the people is able to do the rework, whether the quality inspector can raise a certificate, 100% certificate. So they have to just look on the approved change request, whether the people has done the proper implementation, 100% implementation. And one is going here as the input in control procurements. Because once you are giving the approval for your contractor change request, the contractor, they have to implement your change request. So they have to implement it 100%, right? The reason for them to push the change request, you will be giving the approval after several sitting. So you are convinced with them, and you are giving the approval for their change request. They need to just implement this approved change request 100%. So from your side, you need to check whether the change request is implemented 100% or not. Is it clear or not, guys? Is it clear?
Yes, Bala. Clear.
Approved change request is an important output we are going to get from the perform integrated change control process. So once it is approved, you have to make sure that it has to be implemented. So you need to bring that approved change request as an input in direct and managed project work. Then it will be implemented. You'll be getting the deliverables, and the work performance data will be generated on the repaired deliverables. Performance data goes into the controlling process as an input, and the deliverables will go to the quality control for the inspections. Right? And you will be collecting all the performance information as output from all the controlling process. You take into, you will be taking that one as an input in all the controlling process, in the monitoring and controlling project work. And you will be doing, the project manager will do a final check, and is going to convert that one as a performance report. So one copy of the performance report will send into the communication process, where it will be disseminated, and one will be sent to the change request. They need to have the current performance report for them to take a decision. And one copy of performance report will be sent into the managed team process, where the project manager has to check the performance of the team for him to give the performance appraisal. And one copy of performance report will be sent into monitor risk. So the company has to see whether the risk profile is a better profile or the worst profile based on the performance report. If the performance report shows all the performance are negative, then you know very well a lot of risk is added. You have to do something. You need to plan your strategy to manage this kind of risk. Right? And once you are pushing the change request, once you are pushing the change request from work performance data and other areas, all the areas into the perform integrated change control process. So that change request will be reviewed by the change committee. They will be giving the approval. So once you got the approval, that becomes an approved change request. So one copy of the change request approved is going as an input in direct and managed project work for the implementation. And one copy of the approved change request is going into quality control, whether the implementation is done 100%. So whether they can do the inspections and raise the certificate. And one copy of approved change request is going as an input in control procurement process. There you can see that if you are a client or a contractor and a subcontractor is working you, a subcontractor or your contractor, you are giving your contractor the approval. So that approved change request should be implemented 100% by your contractor or subcontractors. So you're going to bring that approved change request as an input in control procurement process. Any doubts you have?
No, Bala.
Okay. The others? Others? What about others?
Bala, let's proceed.
Okay.
Yeah, good.
It's clear, right? So clear. Now, so the last process in integration will be the manage a project knowledge. Okay, manage project knowledge. Why we need to manage the knowledge? Why we need to manage the knowledge? If you're not managing the knowledge, what happens?
In future, anything needs to be referred. We don't have any reference with us.
Okay,
So for that, we have
right, for the future reference, right?
Yeah.
So what kind of knowledge you're going to manage? So that means what you're saying that the organization should have a proper knowledge sharing plans, right?
Yeah.
You should have a
Okay.
proper knowledge sharing plans. If you don't have the proper knowledge sharing plans, you can't keep your reference or recommendation for the future project, right? But already you have the lessons learned register, which is created from the previous project. You got the lessons learned register from the previous project. What is the necessity for you to create the lessons learned register for the current project?
Would be a new learning, right? Not the same thing we have. We will get it in the current project also, right?
Okay.
New experience.
Yeah, so you need to get your knowledge updated, right? You need to get your knowledge updated. And most of the, if you're going to see that one, what is the necessity for the current project manager to create a new lessons learned in the current project? Because always don't try to take the leverage from the old project lessons learned register. It's duty for you to create a new lesson from the current project. You are taking the leverage from the other project managers who has created the lessons learned in the previous project. That's helping you for you to take a proper recommendations, how the people are able to overcome the challenges, the reference point, right? On the knowledge they obtain, the success criteria and failure criteria. So that lessons learned register from the previous project is helping you. So what you need to do, you are accountable for the project, you are responsible for the project. It's your duty to create a lessons learned register for the current project that can be used as a standard reference. So that will be giving the people what they have to do, what they should not do, right? You have the responsibility to leave this kind of informations. So the lessons learned register is a major output from this process called manage a project knowledge. So the lessons learned register is generated in a process called manage project knowledge. So after the 6th edition, the project management body of knowledge, in the 6th edition, the project management body of knowledge is given the key importance to manage project knowledge process. They added one process under the execution. Before, until 5th edition, you can see there will be only one process will be coming in the integration under the execution, that will be direct and managed project work. Right now, they are giving so much of importance on managed project knowledge. Believe me, you are able to get at least 5 to 6 questions on knowledge sharing plans. Don't try to lose this one, because you know very well, most of the tool which is given here is a soft skills, active listening, facilitation, leadership skills, networking, political awareness, right? So you know very well, being a project manager, you should change yourself as a leader. So leadership skills makes you to just listen to other people. A good leader will learn to throughout the lifetime if he's going to listen actively. So active listening, you need to give the importance to your subordinate. You need to listen them actively. the solution which you are not able to find out, you're able to get the solution from your team member. That becomes a lesson. So that lessons is documented in the lessons learned register. Now, they said that project knowledge should be managed. So what will be what kind of knowledge you have? How are you going to categorize the knowledge? What all the knowledge you can capture here? Guys, you are creating a blank, empty lessons learned register here through this process. And you're making a strict policy in your organization that each and every process owner responsibility is that they need to take the lessons learned register as an input. And once they are bringing them as an output, they need to update with a lot of informations. Each and every one is working in the project will be a subject matter expert. Even a foreman will be a subject matter expert. Even a supervisor subject matter expert. Even your subordinate will be a subject matter experts. Right? Don't try to think that only the consultants or the subject matter experts, each and every person who's working in the project will be a subject matter expert. So make sure that you need to create a lessons learned register. If I'm asking you, if you are a project manager, if you're going to ask your people, okay, before leaving on Thursday, everyone has to stand in a long queue, you need to bank your knowledge. What knowledge you have, you need to bank your knowledge. It's possible for the people to do that. Come and stand in the long queue. It's my strict order. Bank your knowledge, what you have. So if you're going to do this one, you are an ethical project manager or you're a slave driver. Knowledge receipt, knowledge receipt in each and every one. Knowledge always, it should flow from one person to the other person. It should not stop anywhere. There should not be any kind of obstacle for the knowledge. So it's your responsibility, and you need to make this one as a policy through your soft skills, through your interpersonal skills. You need to just make a relationship with your people, and you need to just make the people to understand what is the important value the people will be getting in the future project if they're going to bank their knowledge from the current projects. Whether it's challenges they are able to overcome, what way the tactical approach, the strategical approach, what way they are helping them, what way they are able to help them to overcome this kind of challenges. What is the recommendations? What is the reference point? How they are able to overcome the risk? How they are able to overcome the threats? Right? So all this information should be left as a lessons learned register. So you need to just make sure that this knowledge should be captured in the lessons learned register. So you are generating an empty blank lessons learned register from this process, and you're asking other 48 process to use the lessons learned register as a primary input, and you have to make sure that the process owner and the team who's involved in that particular process, they have to bring an updated lessons in the lessons learned register. So lessons learned register will be created in the current project. And once the project is completed, you need to collect the complete lessons learned register. You have to make sure it's properly updated, and you have to know where you need to hand over, and you should have a central repository. And that central repository should completely collect all the lessons learned register. And once you're bringing all the lessons learned register into the central repository, right now that lesson, once a project is completed, the current lessons learned register for the current project is called as a lessons learned file or lessons learned informations. No more lessons learned register, lessons learned informations, or it's a historical informations. So lessons learned register from each and every current project will be collected through once you're going to close down your project, and once you're going to bring into a central repository, that becomes a lessons learned repository. And the lessons learned repository, from the day one you started your work, your business, what all the lessons learned register you collected current till date project, so that becomes a lessons learned repository. They will be asking one questions on this. This is happening in the closing stage of the project. You are a project manager. You're going to close down your project. What is the last activity you need to perform? You have to write a final report for the project, or you need to do the result transitions, or you need to hand over the training manual to the user, or user manual to the user, or you need to redeploy your resources, or you need to update the lessons learned register. So what is your choice? Option number 1, you need to write a final report. Option number 2, you need to hand over the user manual to the user. Option number 3, you need to redeploy your resources. Option number 4, you need to update your lessons learned register. So what is your choice?
Lessons learned register.
You may have any perspective, because what is the real project? The last thing really will be doing what? Resource redeployment. But the project management body of knowledge is insisting you to update with the complete lessons learned register. So lessons learned register is the last activity you need to you have to make sure it is kept up to date for the future projects. So lessons learned register is generated in this process as a blank document, and make sure that you need to just you need to circulate this lessons learned register throughout all the process, all the process which is selected to use for the current project, and insist your process owner or other the importance of the lessons learned register, right? And make sure that they need to document the complete they need to up to date what all the things they have, what all the standard reference, the tactical approach, the strategical approach, the recommendations, and everything, how they are able to overcome. So everything they have to keep into the lessons learned register. They have to up to date, whether it's going to be audio, or it can be a video visuals, audio visuals, or it can be any form of XML format. Any format that is coming as a lessons learned register, you need to capture and you need to bring into the lessons learned register. And once you are moving to the once you are closing a particular phase or going to close the last phase of your project, make sure that all the lessons learned register should be properly captured. See that it is properly up to date, it's updated, you brought into the repository, right? So what kind of knowledge you need to capture as a lessons learned? 5 to 7 questions. Don't try to just take this one into line. It will be coming in the people skills. You know very well the exam is divided into 3 domain area. One is your people, the process. The other one is business environment. People will be having 42. So they'll be asking like 4 to 5 questions on lessons learned register. The other question they were asking in the examination point of view is that you are a project manager and you are in the closing process group. You're in the closing process stage. Right now, the sponsor is calling you, is asking immediately go and take in charge in the new project. So what are you going to do? You will go immediately and take in charge in the new project, leaving all the work in the current project, or you will update the complete lessons learned register and switch over to the next assignment, or you will instruct your people to take care of the lessons learned register. And one more answer will be made up term, which will be incorrect. So what is the correct thing you have to do? You're going to appoint your proxy to do this, or you take in charge in closing, in updating your lessons learned register and moving to the next assignment, or you will go immediately leaving all the current work and you will be going and taking new assignment. What is the thing you have to do?
PM has to take care.
Update, yeah.
You need to update and you need to move to the next assignment. Please don't make a mistake. That importance they are giving to the lessons learned register. Knowledge sharing plans, lessons learned register is very, very important. Project artifact should be kept as up to date. Whether it's a technical document, whether it's a user manual, whether it's going to be a blueprints, whether it's going to be as-built drawings. So what all the things you are finding as a sensitive, your project artifact should be properly up to date, right? Okay, now what knowledge you need to bring into the lessons learned register? What knowledge?
Importantly, the risk. Is there any risk happened? How it got mitigated?
The recommendation, how you are able to overcome the risk, how you are able to overcome the threats, and what all the challenges you are able to overcome. The recommendation.
Any mistakes done in the project?
I'm asking you the
Any
knowledge.
correction?
I'm asking you the knowledge. What kind of knowledge you need to capture? What kind of knowledge you need to capture? Please note, there are 2 knowledge available in the entire global market. There are 2 kind of knowledge. This is we are speaking into the broader terms. There are 2 knowledge categories. One category is called as a explicit. The other category is called as a tacit. Explicit and tacit knowledge. What do you mean by explicit and what do you mean by tacit? What do you mean by explicit knowledge and what do you mean by tacit knowledge? This both knowledge should be captured and kept in the lessons learned register. Each and every process owner, how many times they need to repeat the process, they are repeating the process. They have to make sure that they need to capture the complete knowledge. explicit as well as the tacit. So what do you mean by explicit and what do you mean by tacit? Ms. Kala, you are there?
Yes, Bala.
Okay, you
I'm
passed
thinking.
the PMP examination and you're giving us party. And you're
Okay.
asking us what you want for the party. We are asking if we need a homemade biryani.
Okay.
You're preparing the biryani and you're serving us. The biryani looks delicious. What I had with my mother, the same taste I can feel from your biryani. I'm asking you a question like how you are able to make this kind of biryani. So what are you going to say me? Whether you are able to express that one?
Yeah.
Whether you are
You
able
meant to say which we are expressing directly or something like
So
that.
yeah.
whether you're able to express that one, whether that skill which is in you is coming within you, right? You are not able to express it. If I'm asking Nitin, and Nitin is taking me to that Dubai desert safari, and he's having his own car, and in the desert, in the sand dunes, is driving the car where there's no restrictions. He can drive the car for 200 kilometers per hour. I was shocked inside. I fastened my seatbelt. He also fastened the seatbelt, but the complete vehicle is in his control. So I thought that he will skid. But he has done a very good job that he was like equal to the racer called Michael Shoemaker. I'm asking you, how you got this talent? You're working as an engineer.
But we
Right?
cannot express
You
it.
can
Yeah, we
express it.
cannot express
So please
it.
note what all the knowledge which you are not able to express, which is coming from your skills, which is coming in your inborn qualities, which is coming naturally to you, which is not coming naturally to us. So this kind of knowledge is called as a tacit. The knowledge which you are not able to express, that particular knowledge is called as a tacit knowledge. Tacit. Rajendra Prasad sir is saying, Panchbhai is saying that it's an explicit. The knowledge which you are not able to express, which is coming as an inborn qualities, which is coming from your skills. So that knowledge will be called as a tacit knowledge. It's not very easy for you to codify it. But you need to make sure that this kind of knowledge should be documented into the lessons learned register. Tacit knowledge always, it will be having the more context in it. Tacit knowledge will be having more context in it. But in contra, the explicit knowledge, it is very easy for you to express. If I'm going to ask you 1 + 1, if I'm asking you who's the ruler of Qatar, who's the ruler of Dubai, who's the ruler of India, who's the Prime Minister of India, because we know very clearly Narendra Modi is the Prime Minister of India, right? Sheikh Al Thani is the ruler of Qatar. So it's a fact-based knowledge. We know that it's a proven knowledge. It's very easy for us to express. Easily we can codify it, but it's missing some context. Always explicit knowledge will be missing some context. Tacit knowledge will be having a lot of context, but it is very difficult to express. It's coming from the person inborn skills, and it will be having a lot of context in it. So what a tool and technique will be used for you to capture the explicit knowledge and tacit knowledge. Both the knowledge should be properly captured into the lessons learned register. So you should have a lot of interpersonal skills like active listening. You need to listen actively to other people. Facilitation, you know very well. Facilitation, you need to have a facilitator to make sure that you need to conduct the knowledge sharing session in each and every week in your organization through your facilitator, and you have to just extract the information from them. Leadership skills you have to make the people to get inspired. You have to motivate them. So that will be coming in the leadership. Not everyone can become a leader. A person who's having a vision will be a leader. Everyone can become a manager, but leader is something is a different. Because whether it's a good objective or bad objective, you're going to take a very big group behind you. So that will be coming only through leadership skills. Networking, it can be a formal or it can be informal interactions. Informal interaction always it will be giving you the linkages which is created with other people, where all the things we are not able to get some solution for any kind of grievances, you are able to get from the informal network linkages. So it can be formal networking linkages or it can be informal networking linkages. Political awareness, Always, you know very well, you need to understand the political landscape of the organization. Politics is neither good or bad. So in order to have the power, you need to understand who's having the power within the organization, what kind of power will be helping me to deal with this kind of people. So political awareness. So this is all the information skills. This is all the interpersonal skills. So what kind of knowledge management, what kind of management tool will be helping you to capture the explicit and the tacit knowledge? Give me the answer, guys. Knowledge management, you know very well the tool is kept here, right? Knowledge management. So knowledge management will be helping you to capture the explicit or tacit, or other way around. Whether the information management tool and technique will be helping you to capture the explicit and tacit. Which tool and technique will be helping you to capture the tool and technique? Knowledge management will help you to capture the tacit or the explicit. Give me your answer, whether it's a right answer or wrong answer. Give me your answer.
Explicit.
Explicit knowledge management, information management acts.
Tacit knowledge, right? If information management will help you to capture the tacit knowledge, and knowledge management will be capturing the explicit knowledge. Believe me, 5 to 7 questions you're going to get from this particular topic. Don't take this particular process. Don't take this particular process as a light process. Once you're sitting for the examination, oh, that guy was discussing about the knowledge sharing plans, the project artifact, the lessons learned register, the lessons learned repository, right? So explicit knowledge, tacit knowledge, right? Please note down, always knowledge management, a tool and technique will be helping you to capture the tacit knowledge. Information management tool and technique will be helping you to capture the explicit knowledge. Knowledge management tool will be helping you to capture the tacit knowledge. Information management tool will be helping you to capture the explicit knowledge. Explicit knowledge, always it is easy to express. Tacit knowledge, it's always difficult to express. Explicit knowledge will have a lot of, explicit knowledge will lack in context. Tacit knowledge will be having full context. Explicit knowledge, it is very easy for you to codify. Tacit knowledge is very difficult for you to codify. For you to codify the tacit knowledge to bring properly into the lessons learned register, knowledge management tool and technique will be helping you. Information management tool and technique will be helping you to capture the explicit knowledge. So that you're going to bring that one into the lessons learned register. Lessons learned register will be generated in the current project, and you're going to take into the periphery. Once you're going to close your project, you're going to bring into the repository. You have to check whether it's properly up to date, and you need to move to the other project. So that lessons learned register till date, which is collected in your repository, will be a lessons learned repository. The last thing in the closing process group, even you have a other assignment, you need to make sure that all your lessons learned register is properly up to date. You need to use the complete interpersonal skills and team skills for you to capture the knowledge, because if you're going to be a slave driver, it will not work out. People doesn't know the value of the information. Information is power, knowledge is power. So you need to use the proper tool and technique for you to just make sure that how we have to reuse the knowledge which is created from the previous project, how we need to leave the current knowledge, current project knowledge that will be helping the people to use for the future projects. Is it clear or not, guys? Is it clear? Is it clear, guys?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Now,
Bala.
coming to the knowledge management, what we have seen in the last class, observation and conversation. Observation and conversation is one of the important knowledge management tool, will be helping you to just capture all the tacit knowledge. Just conversing with your people. It can be a hallway discussions. It can be a casual discussions, or the discussion can be happen in the structured forum. One of the forum, you can see that you heard something called, there's one forum will be there, right? The forum will be the place where the people will be having informal conversations. You heard something called Quora.
Yeah, it's a website, right?
It's an informal forum. You can speak
Yes.
only about that particular topic.
Yes,
You
Quora
can
site.
survey with this kind of salary in Dubai market. Whether $10,000, with 10,000 Qatar riyals will sufficient for the people to survey in the Qatar market. What is the expert? They're going to speak only on the selected topic. So informal conversation which will be happening in the form of a forum. So the knowledge management can be formal or it can be informal. One of the important information about the informal will be observation and conversations. Right? So observation can be what? Observation can be what? What are the two things we studied in observation? One is called as the job shadowing. What is the job shadowing? And others, one is called as a reverse shadowing. What do you mean by job shadowing? You are able to see the other person, how he is going to perform a process, how he is going to perform in the procedures, how he is able to use a product. So what he is doing exactly for a process, you are able to see him. You are standing behind and you're just observing how he's able to do a process. You are a job shadower. You are doing a job shadowing. Reverse the shadowing, the work he has done, you observe, and right now you're going to do that one. He's asking you to do. I taught you how to do a procedure. I taught you how to drive a car. Now, right now, you need to drive the car. I want to see. So that will be called as a reverse shadowing, right? Reverse shadowing. There is one more thing in the observation. Conversation is a general conversation. It can be formal or it can be informal. But in the observation, there is something called have thrown effort. Have thrown effort. What do you mean by have thrown effort? It's one of the observation. They call this one as a keen observation. There's a effect called have thrown effect. May or may not, they will ask in the examination point of view, but we need to know about what we mean by have thrown effect. Since we are speaking about the tacit knowledge, knowledge management tool is helping us to capture this tacit knowledge, and we have to bring that one into the lessons learned register. So what do you mean by have thrown effect? Any idea? Arun, good evening, sir. Vijay Babu, sir, good evening.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
Good, sir.
Okay, I'm your boss. For example, I'm your boss. You may be a senior to me. I'm your boss, for example.
Okay.
You're working in a cubicle. You have your separate workstation, but two people can sit and work there. But you are working there alone. My cabin is going for a refurbish. I need to refurbish my cabin. So for next 10 days, I'm going to sit with you. I just ask your permission. Vijay Babu, can I just share your desk? So I'm going to sit in front of you. I'm going to do my work. Now, your work efficiency will be improved or it will be decreased for next 10 days.
Yep.
Not natural self. I'm asking you, if I'm going to sit and observe you for next 10 days, I'm sitting in front of you. Your work efficiency will be improved or decreased.
It will be based on the person sitting in front of me. So from there, we can learn something.
No, I'm your boss. Maybe I'm the I'm the company VP, vice president. I'm sitting in front of you. For next
Definitely
sit with you. Because you can't
it will be improved.
So there is a marginal improvement in your work efficiency, right?
Correct.
So what happened here? There's any side distraction, side conversation, you're going to avoid that. You will not take your mobile phone frequently to answer the social media messages. You will pretend to act, right? You'll pretend to work, right? You'll act,
correct,
right? So slightly there is a work efficiency will be increased marginally, right? But what happened after the 10th day? My cabin is ready. I can move there. What happened to your work efficiency? It will be staying there or it will be coming back to the square?
No, once we learned, it will be there. So
no, it will be. What's you going to improve still further, or are you going to stay there?
Yeah, we will improve further.
No, you will stay there, right?
With this example, it will be stay there. I mean, obviously,
I am your VP. I am going to move for my cabin. Right now, you are a independent bird there.
Yeah, got it. So with this example, it will be come down. The work efficiency
will come down. So if there is continuous supervision, the work will be improved. If there is no supervision, the work will not be improved. So that observation is called as a have thrown effect. Have thrown effect. Is it clear, guys? Everyone? Okay.
Yes.
So what all the knowledge management tool we can use or technique we can use for us to improve the tacit knowledge? Can you use the trainings? Can we use the training as a knowledge management tool? Training can be used as a tool, right? For you to just have to collect the knowledge, tacit knowledge, right, Nitin?
Yeah, yes.
It can be formal or it can be informal, right? What is formal and informal? What do you mean by formal training and informal training? What the formal
a dedicated session organized for training is called as a just in generic statement, like it's a formal one.
Okay, can we, once the training is completed, if I'm going to see whether my objective is fulfilled, whether the organization objective is fulfilled in sending the trainees to me. So that can be formal or informal. That's a formal training, right?
Formal, huh?
The reason for the employer to select an employee to send the training to a particular training institute or training institution, or they're going to bring someone and they're going to conduct something called OJT, on the job training. So that should be formal, right? You have to get your certificate for the training house you attended, and I need to give the feedback about each and every training to the office, right? And I need to get my feedback whether my training has reached to you or not. So that will be formal. Informal, you don't require to have this kind of objectives. So, but you can see that 90% what we are learning from our life will be from informal, right or wrong? 90% what we are learning from our life will be informal. Most of the percentage of our learning will be coming from the informal way. Informal way, we are learning a lot of things. Can we consider the seminars? Can we consider the seminars? Seminar will be helping you as a knowledge management tool for you to capture your, sending someone from your company to listen to the TED speaker, sending some of your people to attend to a seminar to listen to a TED speaker. Can we consider as a knowledge management tool, please?
Yes.
Yes. So this is all the knowledge management tool, which knowledge will be captured. That's it. Very difficult to express. So what tool and technique will be used for you to store your information management? To store your to capture the explicit knowledge, information, what kind of tool and technique? Can you use the lessons learned register from the previous projects? For gathering the informations? Say yes or no. Hello?
Yeah.
You can use, right?
Yes.
Yes, but
Online surveys will be capturing information, right? What about the library service?
Yes.
Library service? Information
Yeah.
should be gathered, right? Information should be gathered, right?
Yes.
Library service, online reviews, online surveys, lessons learned register, which is collected then and there. So that will be helping us to capture the tacit knowledge that will be coming under the information management tool and technique. So don't try to forget this and all. They will be asking this kind of what technique will be coming under the information management and what technique will be coming under the knowledge management. So knowledge management, always it will be helping you to capture the tacit knowledge. Information management tool and technique will be helping you to capture the explicit knowledge. Both in knowledge, you need to make sure that the process owner who's assigned to a particular process with the supporting staff, they have to bring the complete lessons learned information, the knowledge into the lessons learned register, right? So it can be tacit or it can be explicit knowledge, right? Any format, audio visuals, video visuals, XML format. It can be thread, it can be risk, it can be encounters, it can be like a recommendation, reference point, tactical approach, strategical approach. So what all the things you are able to bring that one, you have to bring that one, even the photographs, you are able to bring into the lessons learned register. Is it clear or not, guys?
yes, clear.
It's clear. Okay.
Bala, the last three you said, lesson learned register, online service, and library service. It's for
Library
the
service.
explicit knowledge
Yeah.
capturing, right?
Explicit
Yeah,
knowledge.
okay.
Very easy for you
Okay.
to codify,
Yeah.
but it's lacking in context. Okay. Very important area. It's the heart of your circulatory system. We are into the very important topic will be time management. So schedule management, how many processes is supporting us? You're able to see?
6.
You're able to see the screen in front of you?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So you can see that. So always once you're going to start your knowledge area, what you're going to get? What you have to do? You have to bring the mother document. So what is the mother document for schedule management? SMP, right? Schedule management plan, right?
Yes.
Okay. So that will be giving you the clear reference and that will dictate how to perform the different activities process, how to sequence your activities, how to estimate activity duration, and how you are able to develop your schedule. So once you're going to develop your schedule, what are you going to get? Once you're going to develop your skill, what are you going to get?
Baseline,
What baseline?
schedule baseline,
Skill baseline. Once you're going to create the WBS, what are you going to get?
scope baseline,
Okay. Once you're going to determine your budget, what are you going to get? Once you're going to determine your budget, what are you going to get?
cost baseline,
Cost.
Cost
Once
baseline.
you integrate all the three baseline, what are you going to get? Scope, time, and cost. You are integrating it. You get one more baseline. What is that?
Integrated management baseline,
We are in the
something.
as PMB, performance.
PMP, yeah,
Performance
performance
measurement.
management baseline.
Don't try to forget. This all should be integrated before you're going to give complete management plans to the execution. Make sure that all the management plans are properly integrated, and you need to make sure that all the baselines should be properly established. It should get the approval, and it has to be integrated. Once you're integrating all the three baselines, you will get something called performance measurement baseline. So your scope management plan is not your scope baseline. Scope management plan is a mother document that will help you how to establish the scope baseline. To establish the scope baseline, what are the processes you need to undergo? Your skill management plan is your mother document. It's not your scope schedule baseline. It will be giving you the guidance and guidelines how to establish a skill baseline. So establishment is happening in the development schedule, but you need to go through all this process to establish this. Because what happened in the project, you are thinking that developing your skill management plan and establishing the skill baseline, it's one process. No. The Project Management Institute is giving you to reach to that level, what all the process intermediate you need to perform to reach to that level. So each and every process will be discrete in nature, and it will be having its own identity. It has to produce its own output. It will be taking its input for creating its own output. So each and every output are unique, and that output will be used for you to create the overall time scale for your project. You can't go after developing your skill management plan. You are not supposed to go and develop your schedule. You have to perform different activity process. You have to take that output, and that output should be used for you to sequence your activities. You need to perform the other process. And what is the output you're able to get from the sequence activity? That will be used as an input for you to estimate the activity duration. And what output you're able to get, that output should be used for you to develop your schedule. And what are the things will be helping you to develop the skill? Then and there from other areas, other knowledge area, you need to bring that and you have to place inside as an input, and you have to develop the skill. And what you people are doing, you're enjoying the sophisticated life, because every information will be collected for the planning engineers, especially the junior planners. And all the data are brought into the user interface of Primavera software applications, or the people who will be going with a Microsoft, or the people who will be working in the Jira applications. And they're going to feed all the data, and they're going to push one button. You will be getting a schedule for your project. But being a project manager, you need to know what all the processes involved to create the schedule, overall schedule. What all the processes involved for you to create your overall budget. What all the processes involved for you to create your scope baseline. Certainly, you can't go and develop your baselines, right? So, are you ready to jump into the skill management topic? It will be a really interesting topic. It will be a really interesting topic because you know very well, the heart is the circulatory system for our human body. It's a centralized organ in the entire human system that will just bring the deoxygenated blood, and it's going to purify, and again it will be pumping down to various part of the body. So all the body will be receiving the oxygenated blood. So the time management also is considered as a circulatory system for your project management. You can lose your wealth. You can lose your wealth. You are doing some mafia work, or you will go and play some casinos. So you go and play some cards, you lose your wealth. But you can regain that lost wealth by quitting all your bad habits. You can lose your health also. You have smoking, you drink too much, right? You chew pans. So that gives you bad health. So you can quit your bad habits, and you can just bring back your health condition to very good health conditions. But what happens if you're going to lose your time from your hand?
You can't really
Lost
get
is lost.
Can't get it back.
You can't get this minute. So time is so precious. Time is so important. So this particular topic is so important topic. So we have nearly 6 processes. There is no process supporting the initiation process group. There is no process from the schedule management supporting the closing. We have 5. we have 5, right? We have 5 process in the planning and we have 1 process in the controlling. There is no process in the execution also. So we have process from the schedule management. We have no process from the schedule management. We don't have any process to support the initiation, execution and closing. We have 5 process supporting our planning process group and we have 1 process supporting our monitoring and controlling. So we'll be having a broader look on this. So as usual, we know very well that we need to develop the schedule management plan. So once you plan your schedule management, you have to get your schedule management plan. Once you plan your communication management, you have to get your communication management plan. Once you're going to plan your risk management, you need to get your risk management plan. Once you're going to plan your quality management, you need to get your quality management plan. Once you're going to plan your resource management, you need to get your resource management plan. Once you're going to plan your integration, what are you going to get? Venkat sir.
Yes.
Once you're going to plan the integration, what plan are you going to get? You know very well, once you're going to plan the scope management, you need to get the scope management plan, right?
Yes.
Once you're going to plan the skill management, you need to get the skill management plan. Once you're planning the integration management, what plan are you going to get? We'll get the integration management plan, right?
Yes.
There's no integration management plan, sir. We have a plan called project management plan, which is a living document, which is your mother document, and which is going to be what? It's going to be a master document for the entire projects. So there's no integration management plan. There is a plan called project management plan. So all the management plans and all the baselines, life cycle which are chosen, how you are able to develop your project step by step, and when you need to review, when the project manager has to do the review with the management review, what will be the tracking documents that will be making your project status and progress. Everything will be properly integrated, and we're going to get a single master document called PMP, Project Management Plan. Is it clear, guys?
Yeah.
So what information I'm going to share right now for what all the things you need to define into the schedule management plan, the same thing will be going into the cost management plan. So there will be some minor variations, but there will be minor changes. So, but almost all the information, what you're going to define in the schedule management, the same thing you need to define into the cost management. Once you're going to plan the cost management, so the things which you define into the schedule management, that will be the same thing you're going to define into the cost management also, right? So what information you're going to define into schedule management? What information will be used for you to develop your schedule management? Please.
We need to know the sequence of activity and the time duration for a particular activity
Okay.
and the manpower allocation.
First of all, you have to choose your scheduling tool, right? What kind of scheduling tool will be used for you to develop your schedule model, right or not?
Yeah.
How you are able to model your schedule? So you need to know about your scheduling tool. So that should be defined in the schedule management plan. So once you are defining the cost management, you need to know about your costing tool. What tool will be used for you to do the cost estimation and how you are able to develop the cost model. So what kind of scheduling tool will be used for you to develop your schedule model? That Project Management Institute is not going to touch any kind of a proprietary information. It's not giving you this brand tool you have to use. It's not touching the brands, but it is giving you the procedure, the process, how the things has to be done in a systematic way. So for our understanding, maybe our organization will be going with a Primavera. Or some organization will be going with the MS project. That's a scheduling tool. If you're going to work in the Agile, they're going to use something called Jira applications. Or sometimes in the same Agile, they go with something called Rally software. Right? Primavera. So this is the scheduling tool will be used for us to develop the schedule model. So what kind of schedule model we need to develop? Whether that schedule should have the activities which is connected in the network diagram should have a time scale or without time scale.
With the time scale, right?
With the time scale.
Okay. First, we need to create a without time scale. Once you are giving the sequence, which activity you need to do first, which activity has to done second, which will be done in the third, fourth, but which will be done parallelly, which has to overlap. So once you're giving the sequence, you're not giving the time. Once you are putting that into the sequence, and once you're taking that one in a network diagram without the time scale, then only you can estimate how long it will take for you to complete each and every activities. So we can go in a systematic way. So what is the name given for the network diagram with the time scale, without time scale? Once you're working as a planning engineer, as a professional planning engineer or manager, the time scale, which the schedule network diagram, which will be having the time scale for each and every activity which is connected to the network, is called as schedule network diagram. Or we call this one as a, what? Hello? What we can call this schedule network diagram with the time scale, right? We can call this one as a logic bar chart. What are you going to call? Everyone, please, what are you going to call? The activity
Logic
of the network diagram with the time scale. Each and every task will be having its own duration to start and complete. So if you're going to give the time scale for each and every task, you're going to give the time for each and every task connected to the network. We can call this one as a schedule network diagram, or we can call this one as a logic bar chart.
Bar chart.
Logic bar chart, logic bar chart. Don't try to forget this name. All right. Okay. Without time scale, what do you get to call? Please note this is called as a pure logic bar chart. Pure logic bar chart. With the time scale, we call this one as a logic bar chart. Without the time scale, we are going to call this one as a pure logic bar chart. You can see only the activities will be connected without the time in it. Is it clear, everyone?
Yeah.
Or the schedule model, the take-home message for us is that the schedule model, which you're going to create using your scheduling tool, it may be a detail or it may be a summary. Right? Is it clear or not, guys?
Can you repeat again this? What was detail and summary? What was?
Okay. Okay. Now you are able to see a new screen in front of you.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a detailed schedule network diagram. The first one is what?
Thing is written on the screen.
What you're seeing?
empty
Nothing.
blank screen.
Blank screen. Now, one minute. I'm sorry. Please. What you can see here? You're able to see, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What you can see? What you are seeing here?
Milestone schedule.
Yes. This is a detailed schedule or summary schedule.
Summary.
Summary.
So the schedule management plan has to give the clear information to the planning engineers whether they need to develop the schedule model as a detailed schedule model or a summary level schedule model. Why we need to develop the milestone schedule? Because milestone schedule will be an excellent format or excellent tool for you to present to the management. Because you as a project manager, you as a line manager, you as a planning engineer, you need to know the granular level of information. Small level of information you have to know. But once you are placed yourself as a management level, they doesn't want to give the nitty-gritty information. They are only comfortable with the milestone format. And you don't require to just you don't require to select a schedule tool for you to develop the milestone schedule. Even the Microsoft PowerPoint presentation will do for you to create the milestone format. Is it clear or not, guys?
Clear, Pala.
Clear. Okay. Or you will create something called a summary schedule. A summary schedule. So what activities will be used for you to complete what all the activities will be used for you to complete the first activity, develop and deliver a new product, Z. How long it will take for you to complete? It will take 120 days. So what all the activity will be included in this for this particular things. So that is kept as a summary schedule. The complete activity will take 120 days for you to complete. Or what all the activity will use for you to complete the 2 process under the initiation. So how many process we have under the initiation? We have develop charter process and we have stakeholder identification, right? Right or not?
Yes,
Yes.
So how many activities that you used for, how many activities we need to perform to develop the schedule, for develop the charter, and what all the activities we need to perform for completing the stakeholder identification. So this will be summarized. How long it will take for you to complete this 2 process. So this will be called as a summary schedule, right? Or this activities, which is summarized, is called as hammock activities. What is that? Hammock. What do you mean by hammock? What do you mean by hammock? Anyone? You know this hammock net? Guys, please give me the answer. You know
No
hammock.
idea, Bala.
Once
I
you're
don't
going
have
for a tour, you will be having the tree here, right? And one side you have a tree here, and you'll be taking a net, and you'll be tying the net here, and you'll be tying the net the other end, where you'll be lying. So this,
Yes.
this is called as hammock net. So these activities are called as hammock activities. For a particular process, how many activities you need to perform to complete this process? What is the timeline? You are able to give the summary schedule. So this is called as a summary schedule, or this can be called as a hammock activities. Is it clear or not, guys?
Yes.
Or what kind of schedule model you are able to bring for you to just manage your communication in the project site office. So you can raise the report why there is a delay, why the activity is not started, why the activity is delayed. So this will be the excellent format for you to just use as a communication tool for you to raise the question if any time impact is happening in your project. So this is called as what? Can you see this one?
Yeah.
Can you see this one? So what the people is going to call this, they're going to call this one as a bar chart. Interchangeably, the bar chart is called as a Gantt chart also, right? The Gantt chart and bar chart are interchangeably used. Are the different, only the difference between the bar chart and the Gantt chart. The bar chart will be having only the bars, the progress bars, the plan bars and the progress bars for you to compare your delay, for you to compare your impact. But the Gantt chart will show the sequence between the activities. If you have the arrow which is showing the sequence, you can call this one as a Gantt chart. Because the bar chart and the Gantt chart is brought by a person called Henry Gantt. Henry Gantt is a mechanical engineer in British, in UK. They want to construct a very big ship, but they doesn't know in what sequence they need to go do the task. So they doesn't know the sequence of flow. He doesn't know the flow of sequence, how it has to be done, the work has to be done, how the work has to be flowed. So he brought a chart and that given a nice work sequence, how the work has to be sequenced, how the work has to be flowed. So that's the reason the bar chart is taking a name as a Gantt chart. The Gantt chart and bar chart, the bar chart will be having the only pure bars, plan bars that will be compared with the actual bars. To know the time impact. If it shows the arrow, the relationships, then we can call that one as a bar chart. Sorry, Gantt chart. Is it clear or not, guys?
Yeah.
Any doubt? What is this? You are able to see a new screen in front of you.
Yes.
So this is called as what? This is a detailed schedule network diagram, right? Can you
Yes.
see the network diagram? Can you see the network diagram here? A detailed network diagram,
Yes.
right? So what you can see in the detailed network diagram. So this is called as a this is called as a logic bar chart, right? Logic bar chart. Logic bar chart. Or we call this one as a scheduled network diagram. So you can see that in the scheduled network diagram, you can get the complete details. Early start, early finish, late start, late finish. What is the activity ID, right? What is the float of this activity, right? What is the float? What is the duration of this activity, right? And which is the successor activity? Which is the predecessor activity? Which is a which activities are on the critical path, which activities are not in the critical path, what is the start date, what is the completion date. So all the information you are able to see in detail. So this can be called as a detailed scheduled network diagram. Or you can just bring the schedule in the form of a table, in the form of a tabular form. The take-home message for you is that the same schedule can be represented in any format. It can come in the form of a milestone format. You can represent that one as a summary schedule or AMAC activities, or you can bring that one as a bar chart or a Gantt chart, or you can bring that one as a tabular form, or you can bring the same schedule as a detailed schedule network diagram, right? Which will be having the complete details of each and every activity and the complete activity which is connected to the network. Is it clear or not, guys?
Yeah,
It's a practical session for us to create a network diagram. You'll be creating the network diagram along with me. Don't worry. Next class. So you want to get a break right now? You want to get a break right now, Ms. Kala?
Yes, Bala.
Okay, so 5 minutes.
Next what we are going to see, Bala?
Anything we have to see. We just started. It's only the tip of the iceberg. No, actually, Rajendra Panchbhai, Ms. Kala, no, she was asking like in between 5 minutes, she need a break. She was requesting that one because you are not able to come for the last 2 classes. She was asking 5 minutes in between we can break, so that we can regenerate ourselves for the next sessions. So 8:16 we can meet. Don't go away. You can connect it here. You can keep your mic, everything mute, and you can come back at 8:16. 4 minutes.
Thank you.
A lot of interesting thing we need to do. We have just seen. I just spilled a bean. There are a lot of things we have to learn.